Hey, so guys, I have three of those popular glass cleaners. Let's start with number one, the popular invisible glass. I actually like this one better because you don't have to open the can top and it just comes in like an aerosol press button here. Again, can't go wrong with this. It's a classic. It is probably the most streak-free one of the three. So, you know, if you're at like any department store, you can find this anywhere. This is Zep, and you can find this at Home Depot as well, and it's also very good. It's a little cheaper than the rest of the three. I would say, I think it's like $5 Canadian, or say, but really good stuff in terms of foaming, but I think you're going to get a little bit more streaking with this one than the others. But for a budget, it's still pretty good. Now this one is Sprayway glass cleaner. I know it's really popular in the US, but in Canada, the only retailer that actually carries this I find is Home Hardware. Kind of weird because it's hard to find them in there as well. It's about $7 or $8, so it's kind of comparable to invisible glass, but I would say this one I really like in terms of all-purpose because it foams a little bit more than invisible glass but streaks less than the Zep. And so in terms of all purpose, I would say this is the best, but it's harder to get in Canada, but not in the US, obviously. So if you guys can pick this up for your glass cleaning, I actually really like this one. So I'm gonna do a little test spot with the Zep. I'll show you. I'm gonna do a little quick shake here, and then so here. So see, pretty good foaming in action. You know, clings, does a good job of getting the dirt off, and I'll do a wipe down. Here's wiping off the Zep. Dry it up. So as you can see, no streaking in particular, but you need two towels usually, and that's probably the best method of cleaning glass. Use two towels, initial wipe with a glass towel, and then another wipe with a dry microfiber. So I'm gonna use the invisible glass now. I'm gonna test it right here. We're gonna do a little shake, okay? So as you can see, it does foam up, but I think it's a little less than the Zep, and I have to really kind of layer it on a little bit. I'm gonna take a wipe this. As you can see, it wipes off a little bit easier than the Zep. The Zep is like a thicker kind of formula, I find. And then it comes off pretty clean, as you can see. So now I'm going to do the Sprayway glass cleaner. A little shake here. I'm going to do the middle part where it didn't really touch. So let's see how it looks. So as you can see, it definitely foams more than the invisible glass, and I didn't have to layer on as much of it. It's probably a little less or comparable with the Zep, I would say. So let's wipe this down. Get a little. Okay, a little bit of excess, so let's get rid of that. Okay, so a little bit of here. Okay, so as you can see, I mean, you can't really tell as much in the video, but the glass is clean in general. So all three of them do a pretty good job, so you can't go wrong with them. But I like the foaming of the Zep and the Sprayway, but the Sprayway has a better in terms of kind of streaking than the Zep, but I would say not as good as the invisible glass, and it's a little harder to find in Canada. So if you can find this, pick this one up. It's my number one.